Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sky Factory 2.5. We're going to be knocking out another achievement book entry today. This one, you might have seen people do it, and you might have seen people do it several different ways, but the way I'm doing it works for me, and it's easily repeatable. This is the second time I've put this contraption together. Well, it's the first time I put it together entirely on my own. And the first time I actually put it together was just me helping on our multiplayer server. We have a copy of this device over there. It doesn't use the exact same blocks, but it's close enough in build that I can just say that this one is like revision 2. So I have it all put together and working. Let me explain what we're going to be doing. So we're going to look in the achievement book here, and we have checked off Automate Wither Killing. That's what we're doing. I have verified that it does work 100% of the time. And another side note is I have mob griefing turned off in my world, but as far as I know, the device will still work even if you have mob griefing on because of the blocks I'm using. So first off, you want to pick a material that is resistant to explosions. I don't know why I'm going through the portal. Let's teleport. Here we go. You want to pick a material that is resistant to explosions. I have chosen fused quartz because it's see-through. And you want to set up a 3x3x5 or so, maybe even taller. It just depends on how you want it to look. You can go even up to like 15, 10 to 15 is no big deal in height. And you want to get some autonomous activators. 7 of them. 4 to place the soul sand, 3 to place the skulls. Arrange them as you see here on top of your box. I also have some pieces of glass in front of the ones that place the sand, so they have a block to place against. And the ones on top are on a bit of a delay so that they wait for the block to be placed under them before they put the skulls down. So let me go over this entire contraption here and show you how it's put together. So the autonomous activators need a couple of things to function. First off, they're going to need items placed into them. So we have an ender chest here. This is coded brown, black, brown. This is actually receiving items from our ME system. It is getting exported to it wither skeleton skulls and soul sand. That's why it's coded this way. Those are being pulled out with this item conduit. It's set to round robin, always active, and that's being those items are being piped into the back of all of these activators. Every single one of them has an item filter. The ones on the bottom are filtered for soul sand. The ones on top are being filtered, of course, for wither skeleton skulls. And since it's set to round robin mode, each of these will receive an identical share, at least as even as it can get, of those items. So here we have like 3 stacks and 46, 3 stacks and 50, 3 stacks and 50. They're fairly close. They're close enough anyway if you're going to mass produce wither bosses. These each have about 33 to 36 in them. So after they get the items, they're also going to need power. So we have power conduit. You can see it here, the energy conduit. That's coming out of this tesseract. The tesseract I have set to our power out channel, coming straight out of our draconic tier 7 energy ball thing. So each of these is getting power. We also have the power line wrapped around here to our mob grinder. This is a draconic evolution mob grinder. This thing has a pretty big radius in front of it that it kills mobs. I have actually spawned a wither boss there, like 5 blocks up, and it killed it instantly. But it definitely will kill it whenever it falls down into this box here, which is what we want to do so we can make these things fairly quickly. It instantly kills mobs before they even have a chance to attack. So whenever the wither boss spawns, it sinks, so it falls down into the box here, and then it explodes. So we wanted to have a explosion resistant material here. That's why I mentioned it earlier. The next thing each of these is going to get is a redstone signal, and I've got these redstone conduits also from Ender.io. All three of these conduits will share a block, so you don't have to worry about any kind of weird routing around or anything. I'm missing one right here in front of the timer. That's the one I'm going to place when we're ready to kick this thing on. But the redstone signal comes from this timer. I've got it set to 15 seconds. You can actually turn this thing down to about 5 to 7 seconds if you have the chamber here slightly taller than I do. It's no big deal. But anyway, so the redstone signal goes up, hits these 4 activators. They are all set, and this is very important. Aim high, not sneaking, right click, round robin use. Also, redstone control, enable on a high signal. So it has to actually receive a signal to activate. The item configuration to receive items is to the back of these and to the side of the ones up here. You can lay this out pretty much any way you want. This is the way that I like to have it. There are several different ways to pull off this achievement as well, but this is the one I'm doing. Since I have mob griefing turned off, I could even just spawn it like this and ignore the draconic evolution spawner, mob grinder, and use like a tripwire with a dispenser with arrows in it or something like that to kill it. That would take a lot longer, but it would work. But with mob griefing on, you want to use a blast resistant block for this box here. And I have the grinder actually outside the box also, just for that reason. It does work through walls and in a pretty good radius, as I think I mentioned. So the redstone pulse hits these at the bottom, comes across, hits this repeater here. I know it says AND gate in the WAILA at the top. That's incorrect. It is a repeater from Red Logic. So I have that set to an 8-tick delay. It could be higher, but 8 is fine. After an 8-tick delay, the signal continues through the conduit up to the top activators, and then they place the skulls. So, let's say after the Wither Boss dies, what happens? Well, all the items drop, and the Draconic Evolution Mob Grinder also produces experience. So, through the diagonal of the bottom of the case here, I have a vacuum hopper set up. That's going to pull experience to an ender tank here that is set to export fluids to our ME system. And it also picks up all the items through that diagonal and puts them in this ender chest that's set to export straight into the ME system. So all the experience and all the drops are going to go to the ME system from here. The last step to this would be to put a chunk loader down. This thing is entirely within a chunk except for that ender chest, which I can move. It doesn't have to be there. I can just move it to the side of this pipe here, and this thing will be entirely contained within the chunk. So I can put a chunk loader on top of this and be perfectly fine for it to run non-stop. But I'm probably not going to run it non-stop. I don't have that much use for all the drops. This is more or less just for the achievement. So, I think that about explains everything. I'm going to turn off my magnet mode here so that my magnet and the vacuum hopper aren't fighting each other. And let's turn off the grid lines, and let's place the conduit. Oh, if you guys build this more or less block for block like I have it here, you're going to want to know that you need this screwdriver from Red Logic to adjust the tick time on this repeater. You have to shift right click on it to rotate the repeater, or just regular right click to adjust the timing. And it goes all the way up to like 128 tick delay. So it's a lot more useful than a vanilla repeater. Anyway, after this ticks by, I'm going to place the conduit down. And the next time this thing ticks around, it should spawn the boss. Boss will spawn down here and explode, and the grinder will auto kill it like instantly. So there he goes. He's actually wearing a hat too. He's wearing little walruses. Wait for it. And insta dead. There goes the drops in the experience. All taken care of. The next one spawns in. And he's dead. Here comes the next one. So, that's about it. That's the achievement. This thing will pretty much run as long as you want it to. But since I really don't have use for these drops, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off there. Oh, whoops. I messed up the signal there. My bad. There we go. I messed up the redstone signal. I didn't get to that one there. And dead. And then my magnet mode is going to mess with all these items. Anyway, you can also stand in front of the grinder. It does not kill players. It's player friendly. Alright, so let's put these skulls back in here. Soul sand back in there. See, that has 20 skulls, that has 40, and that has 33. Let's take these out and have them redistribute evenly so that whenever we turn this thing back on again, if we turn it back on again, that is, it will have an even distribution of items in it. Put the drops away. Alright, so let's go back to our AE system. Burning through the ender pearls with this thing. And let's look in here. So I've got 10 nether stars, 24 sigils, technically more than that. I think I've got the one active somewhere. So 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So I've killed maybe 30 or so wither bosses. Some of those sigils I got from loot bags. Oh, let's turn this thing back on again. These things start to pile up. Oh, am I crafting something still? I probably am. Yeah, why is the fused quartz taking so dang long? It's right there, with 4 nether quartz. Do I have this pattern set up wrong? That's a good question. Troubleshoot on the fly. 1 second. No, that's correct. No, it's not. 4 nether quartz makes 1 fused quartz, not 4. That's what was wrong with it. It was expecting more of an output than it was actually getting. Okay. That's the issue. So let's tell it to cancel. And craft me 10 of those. That should work a bit better. Alright, anyway, that's it for this episode. If you guys have questions about the setup over there, and I know there are several different ways to do it, if you guys have a ME creation plane setup that you'd like me to look at, I know there's a way to do that, or maybe any other kind of like cheaty way to do it, link me a video somewhere in the description. Any of the video link, like links to YouTube videos that are in the comments, I'll have to approve the comment because they're all filtered out by default because they're like flagged as spam automatically. But I'll take a look at them and post them if they look cool. Let me tell you about one real quick. Early on in our multiplayer server, whenever we were looking for funny ways to kill the Wither boss, we actually built a smeltery in the Nether. It was like 3 by 3 by 5, and we put a top on it, and we were hand placing the blocks in it, but we had like 1 nugget of gold inside there. So whenever the Wither boss spawned, he slowly died and put a whole bunch of blood into the smeltery system, and we eventually killed it that way. It was really, really slow because he regenerates HP almost as fast as the smeltery will kill him, and we ended up on the second attempt just taking a block out of the side of the smeltery and killing it through the wall, but it couldn't get out or shoot us. So anyway, if you guys have any neat setups similar to that or anything interesting, post me some links in the description or in the comment section below, or if you just want to tell me about one, go ahead and type it out. And until next episode, you guys have fun and have a good day, and I'll see you later.